odds market.
I'm Dave Betts.
Obsession.
This is Theo Goodman.
All the tools to be among that few that win.
Because I'm winning.
Calculated risk.
I'm Stuart from Tipster HQ.
My name's Jay Paglia.
Taking the best price in the market.
Hey guys, it's Abdial.
Some call it gambling.
Here to bring you the best political betting tips.
It's the booming industry of professional gaming.
Odds Market, Sports Bet Daily.
Bankroll management.
Over at Oddsmarket.
Oddsmarket.com.
We are odds market.
Watch us.
And we now move over to NHL betting. We've got Adam Boothe on the line. Obviously, the playoffs start tomorrow. How exciting. 16 teams left. I love this tournament. I'm really excited. And I have to say, though, have never bet on it. Have always watched it. We spoke about this. I've got, Canadian husband. So he's kind of, into it. So it's on the telly. So I do enjoy it, though, I have to say, full of suspense.
Yeah.
And they meet up to 7 times, don't they? And by the sort of the second or the third, they really don't like each other. And it's quite gripping, really.
Well, I would even go a step further and say maybe after the first period, they already kind of despise each other. And especially because there's a few matchups this year that we've never seen before, at least with these rosters. But there's a few that we have, and some that we'll talk about today. They saw each other last year. We know that they're going to come in knowing how each other play. So, yeah, you got to have some action on it this year, Nat, especially with your husband. Does he like anybody at the moment?
Do you know, a very good question. I will ask him tonight over dinner. I'll say, who are you going for? I don't think he's invested. I think he would probably just pick his favorite. But I do see that Vancouver is not in. Vancouver is not playing. No, we did actually have. So we've got a really good friend who is in Las Vegas, and she got into backing the Vegas Golden Knights. I think it was last playoff. She was over in Costa Rica, and so we took her down to the beach and everything, and we were watching it down at the beach. And they became second or something, didn't they? I think that's.
Well, Vegas was like the Cinderella story last year. They were a brand new organization in Las Vegas's first professional sports team. The city obviously has the terrible terrorist attack right before the season starts. Everybody rallies around the team. The team surprises everybody in the league with their performance, and they go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. And it was like,
but they lost.
What?
I know.
Yeah, they lost in the end, but I still think. I mean, the thing is, I said in the article, if Vegas doesn't have that incredible inaugural season, we'd be talking about how good they are this year. I mean, they are a good team, and because the expectations weren't really even there last season, and they sort of surpassed everybody's analysis of the team, this year they've kind of gone under the radar, and yeah, we can talk about that one if you want. I guess whichever series you want to talk about, I'm happy to go into.
Listen, I am just the host here. You are the expert on this subject, so you lead the way. But I have to say, Vegas Golden Knights, they're priced at 17. Do you think that there is a chance that they could make the finals again?
There's always a chance, and given that I think they have more talent up front and maybe a bit more experience on their defensive core. I don't know. I don't think they're overall a better team. I think they have more potential, but I also think that last year they caught a lot of people off guard, and that was a strength of theirs. And sometimes we see in professional sports the team with their backs against the wall that everybody doubts sort of goes way further than we thought. And I think people are not underestimating Vegas. We saw it during the regular season. They still had a good season, but on the road, when Vegas came to town, people were ready for them. And Vegas is the only team in the playoffs this year with a losing road record. And they're starting on the road in San Jose against a team they beat last year in the playoffs. So I'm actually going against Vegas in this opening one. And it wasn't a play that I thought I'd make before looking at the numbers, but breaking down the series, I ended up going with the San Jose Sharks as a very slight favorite, because I think San Jose is a bit better on both ends of the ice this year. And I think the fact that they came into the playoffs in pretty poor form, they had very average, if not bad, goaltending during the year, adds value to them heading into the playoffs. That said, if they continue to get bad goaltending, they will still lose to Vegas. It doesn't matter that they're a bit undervalued. They can still definitely lose. So in the West, there are two series that I found the hardest to call. It was that series, San Jose and Vegas, and it was the St. Louis Blues Winnipeg Jets series. St. Louis Winnipeg, really, it's going to be on a nice edge which way that one goes. I mean, sure, one team could potentially sort of sweep or win in 4 or 5 games here, but I think that the way that they have very different strengths. I think it'll be a sort of one team wins, the other team wins back and forth series all the way through. So those are the two series. I can understand plays for both sides. For me, it was just a matter of sort of taking maybe the slight favorite in both series, but honestly, I can completely see arguments for the other side.
So right now, Wednesday matches, you're taking Jets and Sharks on the money line or outright.
So I haven't actually made any game one bets yet. I've only made series bets, and so I'm on the Sharks and I'm on the St. Louis Blues for the series. Now St. Louis starts in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is I don't know. The city has rallied behind a Canadian team that actually has potential to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's something we don't often see, and they have the famous Winnipeg whiteout where the whole city wears white on game days. It's a really cool thing to see, and I hope you will check out a game or two if you have time, because it's the best time of year for hockey around the world. And in Nashville they call it Smashville this time of year. They get really rowdy, and I expect. It's a great time to be a hockey fan.
I know, well, because I was talking with Sam just about before the show, actually, and I said that you were coming on. He's like, oh, it's just amazing. And apparently, like, Tampa Bay or something has been having a really good, and they're the favourites here, aren't they? Tampa Bay Lightning, 3.2, and really heavy favourites. And then Calgary Flames, they're 11. Would you say that there is any value left on backing Tampa Bay Lightning at 3.2? And who? So,
I didn't take Tampa to win the cup yet, because I think the two series that they'll have. Okay, I gotta say, I don't write off any teams. I think many teams have shots to beat the best, meaning Tampa or Calgary or Nashville, whoever you think is the best in each conference. I'm not writing off any team, but I do think Tampa has what it takes to get to the Eastern Conference Finals with little difficulty. Okay, that's what I'll say. Now, I think their toughest test will be in the Eastern Conference Finals, because they'll face a hot team coming out of the Metropolitan, whether it's Pittsburgh or Washington, who beat them last year, or maybe an Islanders team potentially. I don't know. And then also the Stanley Cup Finals, which will be obviously the winner from the West. So I don't want to take Tampa to win the cup now. I think there's a chance they could go down 1-0 in a series, or 2-1 in a series, and you might have a shot to then take them at a better price. So what I did was I took Tampa on the outright to win the Eastern Conference. I put 2 units on it. That's my sort of big stake on them on the outrights. I think they are not. I don't think they're overvalued, but again, in an era where any team can beat any team, it's really risky, I guess I'll say, to put all your eggs in one basket on one team.
Yeah, but you're putting 2 eggs on that team. Okay, interesting stuff.
That's true, right. But also, a great part of these series bets and these outrights is you can find places to hedge along the way as well. The other team that I took to win East was a long shot, New York Islanders. I took them at 11, just a third of a unit. So it's just a small stake, but I thought that they were undervalued on that one too. If they somehow win their opening series against Pittsburgh, we can look for other hedge opportunities if they go up in a second series. So you just got to kind of be patient with how series develop. No series is over in 2 games or 1 game like we see in the NFL. So you can evaluate on a day-to-day basis how your outrights are doing.
Yeah. All right. So as we wrap up the show here, and before we speak with Russ, Premier League Darts Week 11. So right now you said you've made series bets and series bets only. What series bets have you taken?
Okay, so I have one on every single series. I do like to play high volume. I'm going to go through them really quick.
All right.
Just to try and cover it all. But you can read the articles. I've gone into great depth on the odds market articles. So in the East, I've got Tampa winning on the handicap -2.5, meaning that they'll beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-0 or 4-1. I've taken the New York Islanders to upset the Pittsburgh Penguins at 2.3. I've taken the Boston Bruins on the money line. No, sorry, I've taken them on the spread against the Toronto Maple Leafs, meaning they need to win 4-2, 4-1, or 4-0. And then the final pick was Washington Capitals money line against the Carolina Hurricanes, which I do think there is value on. So take a look at that one. In the West, as I mentioned, I'm on the San Jose Sharks money line and the St. Louis Blues money line. As slight favorites, they're both between 1.8 and 1.9. I've taken the Calgary Flames as the top seed in the West to beat Colorado in at least 4-2 score. I just think they match up really well against Colorado, and provided they get the goaltending, Colorado will have very little answer for the Flames. And the final one in the West was the Nashville Predators to win at least by 2 games against Dallas. Now, Dallas has been a great hot team defensively coming into the final 20 games of the season. Loved how they played in their back end. Again, like Colorado, though, they have a great first line, and then they kind of struggle goal-scoring depth. So if Nashville ups their game and they play good on the defensive end, I do not think the Stars will have enough to take 3 games against them.
All right, awesome stuff. And like Adam said as well, he'll be writing his match bets as well. Head on over oddsmarket.com/hockey, tips hockey, and there you will find the full breakdowns. He will be back, obviously, to give his bets. But listen, best of luck. I'm really excited for it all to start tomorrow. All right,
Yes.
take care.
All right.
And best
Bye
of
now.
luck.